Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to Exoria. This is a mod pack by Cuvist. This is the same creator that made Age of Engineering, if you guys played that. And it's quite a different pack. It's actually almost like a spiritual successor in a lot of ways to Regrowth. And the idea is that within this pack, you've been exiled to a volcanic planet with nothing but, lava and ash, and there's also a lot of acid, and there's bones and stuff around. And the idea is that you're trying to get back to your home planet. You've been exiled because basically you lost a court case against you. And so you've been exiled here. It's kind of like a prison planet. But you'll notice right here there's a Botania portal that's displayed right here. And that's because while you're exiled to this planet, your home planet still has to initiate trade and stuff with you through the use of the Elven Portal. So there's a lot of custom recipes using the Elven Portal trade system, which is really, really cool. And you actually start out with an Elven Portal, and you got infinite mana from Botania for use with that. And it's a really, really cool pack. I've been messing around with it a little bit in the test world and playing around with it, and I've been kind of watching it since shortly, not too long before its release. Before its public release, but I've been keeping an eye on it. It's a pack I've been wanting to start, and actually since the move didn't really pan out as well as it was supposed to because of the whole flood insurance thing. We don't currently have a set date that we're going to move, or even a house that we've decided on since that one. We've been looking at a few, so I decided we're going to go ahead and start a second pack. Originally I was waiting until we moved, but I don't know when that's going to be now. So it's going to be a little while in the future. So we're going to go ahead and start this pack. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a world. We're going to call it Asgard LP. Game mode survival. And we're going to go with the seed. We are going to call it, once again, Asgard LP. Okay. So the seed is right there if you need it. And yeah, let's do this. Hopefully it turns out good because I don't generally test my seeds. I like to just get in there and go and see how things go and everything. But yeah, this is pretty much, in a lot of ways, to me, it reminds me so much of Regrowth in so many ways. Like a spiritual successor to Regrowth. Not exactly the same, but in a lot of ways. The world has no greenery whatsoever. It's just barren, ash-covered, lava-covered, bones. And then, like I said, there's little pools of acid and stuff like that I've noticed in the main world. And then if you dig down beneath the ash, there's actually basalt. Instead of the world being made up of cobblestone, beneath a dirt layer, instead it's ash layer, which is actually pretty deep, and then basalt beneath that. Okay, it says, welcome to Exoria. Press grave to open your quest book. Feel free to change in your better questing keybinds. In the rare case that no portal spawned at spawn upon world creation, make sure to create a new world. And then traveling to a new dimension for the first time will create some lag. Make sure to wait a bit until the chunks around you are generated. In single player, you can lower the render distance to speed the process up. Okay, so we're spawning in, and it actually looks like there is not a portal, which is no good. Which means I'll have to recreate the world in that case, which is kind of sad because there's a building right over there. But yeah, you can see there's acid right there. That's acid. And if you touch this stuff, you'll notice you take damage. So let's delete that. Create new world. We're going to call it Asgard LP again. And let's do no space. Asgard LP with no space. Okay. Let's try that. I don't know if it has to do with the seed. Probably not. Maybe it's just a bug upon world generation. They did say it was a rare case thing. So it's probably just a bug. I could probably use the same seed. Which there was actually some pretty close structures. But that'll be fine. That'll be fine. It just means maybe we have to explore further. Okay, so here we go in a new world. And still no portal. What is this? Okay, we're going to make the world seed to Asgard then. Like that. And maybe we'll have a portal this time. I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with the seed or not. Of course, the seed, those last two times were different, so I don't know. Okay, it looks like we got it this time. So you'll notice this is what the world looks like. And I do suggest you kind of get an idea of where you're at first before you get too much into it. Because I know in a couple of my test world, I actually had my portal was set up kind of like that, and I actually had lava setting up here, and it kind of flowed down and killed me in a couple of my tests. So make sure and get a bearing of where you're at, where the the lava sources around you are, because they are going to start flowing, you know, right after the world's generated and everything. But it looks like we're all good. So we actually start with 4 things in our inventory here. We start with a Wand of the Forest, which of course is for Botania. We start with a Warp Stone, a Flint Hatchet, and a Flint Pickaxe. And then we also start with this as kind of like our little forward base. We have a couple Natura Pylons. We have 2 Everlasting Guilty Pools, and these are to keep the Elven Gateway running. And then we have an Elven Gateway portal right here, which sometimes this is actually turned off. If it's turned off, you can just right-click the Gateway core right there and turn it on. So if that happens. And then we start with a Waystone, which we're going to go ahead and just right-click this, and it says Activated Waystone Home Portal. And then if we want to, what we can do is we can, like if we're out exploring, we have our Warp Stone, we can hold right-click and select Home Portal and warp back here. And it's got about a 10-second cooldown between uses on the Warp Stone. We use these a bit in Sprout, when we played Sprout. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and open up our quest book. Default is Grave once again. And if we take a look at our quest, the only tab that we have open right now is Survival. So we're going to start there. This is for reloading quests after updates, so we don't need that at the moment. And then we have this first quest here, Exiled. It says, I can't believe I lost my case. Now I'm here on that unknown exile planet. I don't think I deserve that. I have to find my way back home, somehow. At least they are obligated to help me so that I don't die here. If they know I'm willing to work for my survival, they're willing to trade. I guess that's why that portal is here. Still, I have no idea what I will expect here on this planet. They gave me one piece of advice, though. A lot is different there. If you want to survive, make sure you investigate carefully and adapt. Not sure yet what they mean with that, but I probably should follow that advice. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and hit that and detect. Done. Okay. So we've completed that quest. We have 2 more quests here. Gathering while it's day. I see there are several bones and stone piles laying around. Maybe something useful can be found from them. I wonder who or what died here to leave those bones behind. Let's wander around a bit while it's still day and gather some materials that might prove useful. So we need to get flint, bone, rock, an unlit torch, and rotten flesh. And then the other quest, Burnt Earth. So it seems the whole surface is covered mainly with lava and ash, no plants or animals. I wonder how I should be able to survive here. I probably shouldn't exhaust myself too much until I have a reliable food source. Maybe if I dig around I will find something. They gave me some tools at least, but they don't seem to be durable. I have to be careful not to waste them. Let's hope they will give me something in exchange for those things. So we need to get 16 ash blocks, 8 basalt, and they're going to give us 16 fertilizer. But in addition to the ash blocks and basalt, we also have to get coarse loamy dirt and dead saplings, which we'll go over how that works here in just a moment. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start by collecting ash, and I do suggest you just do this by hand. And you're going to get this ash here, and then you can turn it into an ash block. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of open up our little spawn area a little bit. So I've got this opened up a bit. Let's go ahead and convert all of this into ash. And if you take a look at the ash blocks, if you take a look at the, we're right here, Elven Trade, you can see that 4 ash blocks, they give us a dead sapling. That's what we want to do, and it should have already marked this as completed. It did. And I'm going to go ahead and just trade all of our ash blocks and get dead saplings for them. Now, basalt is a little bit more work to get to because you have to go a decent ways down. Let's actually go ahead and gather up the small stone, and we're going to get rocks and flint. And I believe that's one of the things that we need, right? For that other quest, flint. Yeah, okay, but we still need bone, rock, unlit torch, rotten flesh. Okay, let's try to get the basalt first. That, I feel like that is, to me, that's a little bit more of a priority because it leads into our food, and we don't want to exhaust all of our hunger, like right out the gate. And I don't really see any bones or anything too close by. Probably have to go over the hill or something like that. Okay, finally found basalt. I know it's a little bit tough to see at the moment. It's pitch black, you're likely to be eaten by something. Okay. I hear monsters. You don't want to spend too long in the darkness. Okay, let's see. What do we got? How many basalt blocks do we have? We need 8, and I only have 3 at the moment. And you'll notice, I mean, the basalt tends to be pretty low down. I'll tell you what I could do. I could open this up a little bit There we go. We'll open this up to the sky so I can actually get down there, and I should have a decent amount of light coming through. So we'll just gather up a few pieces of this. There we go. Quest updated burnt earth. And now what we need to do is we need to trade 8 basalt into our Elven Gateway portal. So let's go do that. It does look like it's starting to get dark right now. Yeah, it is. That's fine. Alright, so there we go. And we got ourselves 4 pieces of coarse loamy dirt. And then we can turn this quest in. We get 16 fertilizers. So let's go ahead and do that. And then it opened up a couple more quests here, or one quest to start with, Chop Chop. It says, great, they gave me a bit of fertilizer in addition to those saplings. This means I can at least get some wood. First, I need to make a chopping block. Then I will need to use my axe to chop the logs down to planks. I probably have to spam my axe for a bit until I get them. Also, I don't assume I will get many planks for the log piece. I have to work towards getting better axes soon. I also need some sticks. Chopping those planks down again should work. And this is really similar to kind of the way that we started the pack within Sevtech. It's kind of similar in that regard because it does have a lot of the same mods as Sevtech. So let's go ahead and we're going to need to set up a nice place to grow saplings. So let's put it, we'll put it right here. This will be fine. And we'll drop down our dead sapling. Let's go ahead and plant all of these down, I guess. Just along the side of this mountain. I would like to maybe flatten something out for a little bit better conditions here soon. Or maybe find a flat area to work with. But you'll notice, I mean, it's a really mountainous terrain. You're going to have to work for a nice flat spot, in truth. So, this should be fine for right now. And let's go ahead and take our fertilizer from forestry and right-click this a few times. There we go. We got our first tree. And we'll take our hatchet and just chop this thing down. And there we go. This should start despawning. And I'm going to go ahead and plant another sapling right there, because we are going to need more of these. Okay, so now we've got our first bits of wood. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a chopping block. And we're going to set this down. I have like no land to work with right now. We'll set that down right there, and then we're going to need to take our wood, put it on the chopping block, and then take our hatchet and left click. There we go. I saw some logs there. Okay, so we got 4 oak wood planks out of 2 pieces of wood. And then we're going to cut these down one more time. Okay. There we go. And our Chop Chop quest is completed now. So let's go ahead and take a look. We get 8 unlit torches. So you just need 1 of each of these. So 8 unlit torches. Let's go ahead and claim that. And then it says fruitful work. It seems those saplings are not dead after all. I've never seen or eaten that fruit before. But hey, better than starving. Okay, we need persimmons. And there's a chance, actually, that whenever these trees despawn, they're going to drop persimmons. Which I know in my experience, sometimes it takes a couple trees to get this. And actually, there is a quest right here. Not leaving those leaves. I wonder if I could get some use out of those leaves. To harvest leaves, I need some shears, though. I wonder if crude wooden shears will work for me. Chopping these leaves down in fine strips should get me some fiber. And finally, intertwining some fiber yields some twine. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. The shears are 4 pieces of wood. Okay, well, let's go ahead and work towards that. I am going to need a little bit more wood, though, before I do that. Let's go ahead and... Oh, our chopping block's starting to take damage here. You can see all the cracks starting to appear in it. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a crafting table. And, yeah, I can't upgrade that. Okay, so this first crafting table, what we're going to do is we're just going to look at where we want to put this stuff in the crafting grid, and we're going to right-click it in. And then if you take a look at the wooden shears, it mainly lists branches, but what you need, if you take a look here, it says accepts any stick wood, so any kind of stick will do the trick. So we'll just put that right in there. And there we go. We can get our left-click to pick them up, get our wooden shears. And that's quest updated for this, not leaving those leaves. Then let's go ahead and start using these leaves. So let's grab some of these, and then what we can do is we can take these and we can put them on the chopping block and cut them down into plant fiber. Okay, so let's do that. It's quite involved to get the stuff that we need to get started, but that's okay. Let's get a few of these. You can tell the chopping block's not going to last a whole lot longer. to say the least. It's not. It doesn't have very much life left in it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cut down the rest of this tree. The rest of these leaves, I'm going to let them just despawn. Try to get a persimmon out of these. Okay, and then our plant fiber, let's go ahead and make ourselves a couple pieces of plant twine. And that's going to complete this quest. Okay, there we go. So that quest is done. It doesn't lead into anything else right now. And by the way, this ash, you can actually just take it, do like this, and it'll compact it. And then if you want to get the ash blocks back, you can just put it back in there and get your ash back out. So just a heads up on that. Okay, now the next thing I want to do before the sun comes up, because I want to start actually flattening out some land so we have a place to actually plant trees and not have to use our fertilizer on it. One thing I would like to go ahead and do is let's actually take our flint. We're going to need both of these pieces, and let's put down a piece of basalt. Just right up here will be fine. And then just left click it, and we're going to flake it. We got 2 pieces of flaked flint. And then I want to make a flint saw. This right here. I think so, this would be the best, yeah, the best way to do it right now. Let me go ahead and cut down. I need a little bit more sticks. And we're going to lay out this flint handsaw. This uses that plant twine that we just made. 1 piece right there, and then we're going to need a couple sticks. And then we can just left click, grab our flint handsaw. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and sticks and cut them down into wooden pins. Because those wooden pins are what we're going to need to actually start making chests from Immersive Craft. Because it requires planks and then trapdoors, which take twine and then sticks. I mean, planks for that. So let me go ahead and cut down a bit more wood here. And let's lay this out. So, planks like that. Then we've got our twine right there, and then our wooden pins, because I would like a place to go ahead and start storing stuff. There is our 2 trapdoors, and then we need, I actually need more planks than this. Okay, let me get another tree grown here. Okay, so, let's go ahead and put our planks down. You can actually add, so I'm going to go ahead and put down 2 in each spot. Actually, I don't need them right there. I need 2 right there, 2 right there, and then our 2 trapdoors that we made. And then we can left click, and it basically works as like a shift click. You don't have to hold shift in this. Oh, there's more flake flint right there. Okay. And I guess technically, can't we use the flint work blade as well? Yeah, you can use the flint handsaw or the work blade. Either one works fine for making those pins, but just whichever. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and break these down. Still no persimmons yet. Not a great source of food, as you can tell. Okay, now that we've got our chests, let's go ahead and set these down. We'll get these moved later on, and then we can right-click to open them, and we can just right-click our items into this. And I want to go ahead and store all of our stuff, just so we can keep our inventory kind of cleaned up. I'm going to put blocks over here. We'll do like ash and basalt for right now. And then our plant fiber and stuff, because like I said, I want to go ahead and start kind of flattening out this terrain. So I'm going to need a place to store all the stuff that we're getting from that. Now let's go ahead, let's see, the moon is still decently high up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start flattening out an area so that we can plant more trees and have it, you know, a flat space to work from and everything. So give me just a minute here while I wait for the sun to come up. We're going to go out and do a bit of exploration. So I'll be back here in just a bit. Okay, I just used the last of our fertilizer and grew a tree, and I cut out some leaves with the shears, and I was harvesting the rest of these leaves, and I got our very first persimmon finally. So they're not terribly common. The sun was coming up, so I was just kind of doing that real quick. So we did get our very first persimmon. Not a whole lot of hunger, but actually that's not too bad. 2.5 shanks isn't too bad for a berry, more or less. So let's go ahead and open this up, and this quest is completed. They're going to give us 4 more persimmons. It says, it seems those saplings are not dead after all. I've never seen or eaten this fruit before, but hey, better than starving. Let's go ahead and claim that. Okay, and so now what I want to do, gathering while it's day, I want to do this. I want to go out and get bones and rocks and rotten flesh. Okay, so let's go ahead and head out, and I actually noticed some bones over here. You can see I've got a lot of this cleared up. And then I was kind of clearing this little area out, and then kind of flattening some of this out up here. So we kind of have a flat little raised area that I might, you know, use for building or something like that. But I actually noticed some bones right down there. You can see what's left of like animal carcass. And there's actually some bones right here too. So let's go ahead and break these off. And you can see I just got rotten flesh and bones out of that. And that is what we're looking for. So we're going to gather up a few of these. We also got some unlit torches. Some of these seem to be like human bones, human remains, and they were carrying torches. So the torches have since died out. There's a rock. Let's go ahead and grab that. And that should actually complete... There we go. Gathering Wad Stay. Okay. So that quest is now done. We don't get anything for that. And then Fire Me Up. Being able to make fire would be a very useful thing to progress. Let's see what happens if I right-click a rock with flint. With the fire starter, I can finally light up some extinguished torches that I found by right-clicking them or with an already lit torch. To get lit torches in hand, I need to right-click a place lit torch in world with an unlit torch in hand. So we have to get a lit torch and the fire starter. Okay, so let's make the fire starter. Alright, so let's put this rock down. Let's take our flint and just right-click it against the rock and it makes the fire starter. And there we go. Quest updated, Fire Me Up. And then let's pop up here, and I've got these torches. And we're going to make our very first lit torches. So let's just pop down here. Let's say, yeah, all of this is like dark at night. So let's put this down and hit it with our fire starter. And there we go. We got our first lit torch. And then what we can do is we can just take our torches now and just right-click them. And it does the whole stack at once. And there we go. We got 15 lit torches now. Okay, so that quest is done. Next up, there was better tools and then finally storage, which we've already done, finally storage. So, with flint and twine, I should be able to make tools like the ones I got to start with. I should flake the flint first, for example, by smashing on some hard material, left-click on basalt. With the flake flint, I can then make tools. Okay, so what I want to do is let's take our flint. And we're just going to flake this. I need to go out and gather more flint because we've only got 2 at the moment. So give me a minute. I'm going to go out and gather some flint just from the rocks and stuff in the area. I didn't see anything too exciting to explore off in this direction. And I guess technically we can use our warp stone to get back. I need to not forget about that. It's actually a really handy tool to have. That's a flare from Astro Sorcery, by the way. But I am really, really excited for this pack because there's a lot of mods in here. Of course, there's a lot of mods that SevTech had, like the ones that were really good, like Primal Core and stuff. But there's a lot of like overlooked mobs, like Terraquise is in here. Also, Woot is in here. I love both of those a lot. There's a lot of really good mods. A lot of really, really good ones. So I'm definitely looking forward to utilizing some of those as we go forward. Like so many I love underrated and underused mods so much. Because it tends to make for like a much more original playthrough than just the same, the same mods as like everything else. Okay, you'll notice that the day cycle is really, really short on here. Like the sun's already going down again, and it feels like it just turned day. It goes very, very quick. Oh, here's a structure. Oh, what have we found here? Oh, I'm kind of excited about this because you'll notice it's Botania. It's a Botania area, like a little Botania house. And the nice thing is, there's actually a waystone sitting right over here. So we don't have to grab everything and take it back with us. You can see there's a runic altar. There's 4 mana spreaders. We've got Natura pylons on each of these. We have a couple pure daisies, which will be kind of nice. We've got some black Portuguese pavement. We'll go ahead and right-click that, activate a waystone altar. We have a petal apothecary here. And look at this. Look at this room filled with stuff. There's a conversion wand. Wand of the Forest. We've got unlit torches, Horn of the Canopy, overgrowth seeds, vine balls, rocks. And then in this chest, formation wand. Oh, that's so nice. There's a bunch of flint. I'm going to go ahead and grab that flint, actually. And we've also got a drum of the canopy, a mana splitter, another drum of the canopy, another mana splitter. And look, everything we need to start Botania, pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and grab this eerie mask. And, oh yeah, it has to go into baubles. There we go. We got the inner arts, and we got our Majora's Mask. That's actually one of my favorite accessories from Botania. So, there's black lotuses. We've got all the flowers. Lexica Botania. More black lotuses. There is a... Oh, there's one of the other Zelda masks. Right there, the ancient mask. So, anyways, we've got this place marked, so we can come back here at our leisure, pretty much. And we can kind of just pop between those 2 portals. Very, very useful feature. And it's now night, so I'm going to hang out here a little bit more. I haven't really noticed too many mobs spawning, if you notice. I mean, there's not a whole lot of danger at the moment. And I know it probably feels like it's a little bit OP to get like all of Botania inside of just a little building over the hill, but it's actually not. It's not that OP. It's basically the stuff to start Botania. Probably the most OP thing in there, honestly, is the conversion and formation ones. I'd say that's probably about the most OP thing. Okay, it's been a little bit since I've cut, and you'll notice that it just started raining. And by the way, I've been cut for a little bit. I'd like to show you this, but it just started raining, and if you get out in the rain, it gives you poison. The rain is poisonous rain, which is bad. So just a heads up on that. One thing I would like to do, though, even though it's raining, is... let me make a crafting table. I'm going to set this down right here. I don't really have shelter yet. I've been working on a little structure, and I'll show it to you once the rain ends. But one thing I would like to do is take and let's cut down... Let's cut down ourselves some wood. Since the rain is going on right now. And then let's go ahead and just lay this out like that. And I want to make a few of these. Well, anyways... what we're going to do is we're just going to place these down. Oh wait, actually that's not a great place for it. Let's, because that place up there is going to get covered here soon-ish. But let's go ahead and place these out. So maybe we can start gathering up some rainwater. Okay, I think that's all of them. Okay, the rain has finally ended. By the way, I did end up crafting 2 more flint hatchets. I've almost went through this one. And then I've got another one as a backup. But yeah, look right here. See, I've got a bit of water right here. It's just standard liquid water. When it's those oak barrels, when it rains into those. This one didn't get any water, and I'm not for sure if maybe it's just... I don't know. Maybe it's in a weird spot or something. I'll move it over there. But anyways, I started building out, like, the start of a little structure. What I've been using is oak wood shakes. These are actually really easy to craft because you can just take, not wood, this type of wood, oak wood, and just put it with a piece of flint, and that makes 6 oak wood shakes, and it doesn't consume the flint. Basically, you just use it to cut it down. It's a really easy building material because you do get 6 per piece of wood, and it's something to kind of contrast against just the black of all the ash and basalt and everything. So I did start laying this out, and we move a little bit faster on this than in the ash because it does slow us down. And I've started placing this little area out, moved our chests up here. By the way, carry-on is in the pack, so you can shift right-click to move your chests and stuff. But anyways, I got this laid out so we can have our trees kind of spaced out and everything right here. Now, one thing I do want to do, I need to cut those. I need to cut those down. Let me eat this persimmon. But one thing I do want to do real quick is let's go ahead and warp over to the altar. Let's see if I grab this pure daisy, actually. I want to see, I think I can place this onto, what all's in these chests? Anything that I need at the moment? No, it's not really a rush that I grab this stuff. I can just kind of leave it here for the time being. Okay, so let's warp back over to our home portal. And I think I should be able to place this on loamy dirt, I should imagine. So let's try this real quick. I'm going to set this up like right up here. Yeah, pure daisy will set on that. Okay, and one thing I want to do is I want to start changing over some wood into living wood. Basically just for building purposes at the moment. I probably should have grabbed both those pure daisies. Yeah, let's actually warp over to the altar. And we'll go ahead and set up this other pure daisy real quick. Just so we can have 2 of these things running. So we'll put the other one right here. Okay, so while those are despawning, let's take a look at the quest book. And let's see, better tools. They want us to make a pick, a hatchet, a shovel. Of course, we already have the pick and the hatchet. I did make more of those, but still they're automatically completed because we already started with those. But let's go ahead and make ourselves a shovel, a flint shovel. And these are pretty straightforward to make, just requiring a stick, twine, and then some flaked flint. I really hope I get some persimmons, because I am so out of food right now. Okay, so our plant fiber, there's our plant twine. Let's go ahead and set up another crafting table up here. I'm going to put this one, like, right here. built into the ground. We'll be fine. Okay, so we need plant twine. And then we need a stick. And then we need 3 flaked flint for this. It's kind of weird the shovel is like... I don't know if it's more expensive than the pick. I haven't actually made a flint pick. No, the flint pick's a little bit more expensive. But the flint hatchet is the cheapest one of the bunch. For sure. So let's go ahead and grab that. And there we go. Quest complete, better tools. And we don't get anything for that. And then finally storage. They want us to make a chest, a cupboard, and a shelf for that quest. Let's see. Have I still not gotten any persimmons? I sure hope not. Okay, there's 1 persimmon. Which I guess technically we can eat rotten flesh. By the way, nutrition is in the pack. You can see we've got carbs, fat, protein, and vitamins. Persimmons count as a vitamin. Rotten flesh counts as a fat. I'm going to go ahead and eat this. Yeah. Seems alright. Okay, I just got hunger. I was going to say, it seemed alright so far, but that's fine. We're really struggling with food at the moment, so... doing the best I can here. And, oh! Okay, this makes dream wood. It doesn't make living wood. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But that is the case. Let me go ahead and eat some more rotten flesh here. Because it is a way to get our health up. If nothing else. It does get that up. That's fine. Dreamwood will work. Dreamwood will be alright. Okay, so do I just cut this down? Now, we can actually make Dreamwood planks just by putting it into a crafting grid. So let's do that. And this is just a very temporary little structure. Like I said, we are going to be, like, planet hopping a bit. So, I mean, I guess we can probably always come back to this place. I've never actually been to the second planet, but I imagine we could probably come back here pretty easily. So, this will be fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next quest here to make the storage stuff. Let me go ahead and grab that. I'm going to go ahead and just pick up this chest. And there we go, it counts. Awesome. Because, of course, we went ahead and made that a little bit early. So, just because I wanted to go ahead and get chests in place. Because, I mean, you could see how many ash blocks I've already gotten. I have a bunch of them. Okay, and then the cupboard. Let's take a look at this. Slabs and trapdoor. And then what about the shelf? Just slabs. So I'd say shelves are actually probably the cheaper thing to make. So let's go ahead and get the shelf. And then the trapdoor, we're going to have to make more pins. I'm going to put the shelf right over here for right now. We can put items onto that, just like in the chest. And it looks like it's actually got a bit more storage than the... is it 4 wide? Okay, yeah, the shelf actually has 4 more storage than the chest does. So it's actually kind of a little bit better. Alright, so let's go ahead. There's the stuff for our trapdoor. 2 of those, and then we need... let me cut this down. How many do we need? Okay, I need more wood. And there we go. We'll go ahead and grab that. And there is our cupboard. And we'll just put that down right there. And this one opens and closes, just like the chest does. Just goes on a wall instead. Okay, so that quest is done. You'll notice we're not getting a whole lot of quest rewards at the moment. Okay, now next up, strain your ears. I think I saw some clean water nearby. I haven't seen any animals on this planet, but maybe there are fish I can catch. I don't have the resources for a fishing net yet, but a simple strainer could work as well for now. For that, I need something like a wooden hopper that can store caught fish. Then I can build strainers out of them. I have to do some research how different positions in the water will get me more yield. The following options I need to research. Number 1, flowing water or water source. Number 2, distance between strainers. And 3, water height. Also, I assume, dependent of how tight the twines are, I will get different resources. Then there's also the Let's Dry It quest. We could go ahead and do this. I think I'd rather start with the strainer, though. So the wooden hopper. Let's take a look at this. So it takes a chest and then just wood. Because I think getting a better food source than persimmons would be ideal. Because right now, food is kind of an issue. Okay, so there's our wooden hopper. That part of it's done. Oh, we need 2 wooden hoppers. Awesome. Okay, so there's 2 wooden hoppers. And There we go. Strain your ears. Okay, so there's that. And then we need to make a strainer base. So the strainer base is a wooden hopper, a chest, and then 2 sticks. Okay, well, let's go ahead and plot this out. Wooden hopper, slower, cheaper variant of the hopper. And then wood. There we go. There's the strainer base. We need 2 of them. Okay. Even better. Even better. That means I gotta make another... Tell you what, like, you want to make sure and have hatchets. Lots and lots of hatchets, because you're going to go through them rather quickly with all the stuff you have to cut down. It's too bad that house we found wasn't, like, filled with food or something, you know? That would have been great. Okay, I'm actually waiting on wood right now, because I'm pretty much tapped out on wood at the moment. So, I'll be back once one of these trees grow. I tell you what, one thing I do want to do real quick is I want to go ahead and claim... I'll go ahead and claim, like... I don't know, this area, and then we'll go ahead and shift click so that it's chunk loaded. And you can drag and stuff now. Just to make sure that if I leave, oh, there we go. Just to make sure that if I leave, my trees continue to grow and stuff like that. It'd be kind of handy to have this area all chunk loaded out. Okay, so there we go. There is our second strainer base. And there we go, quest updated. And then they want us to make a survivalist strainer and a survivalist strainer dense version. So let's take a look here. Survivalist strainer is, we're going to need nets, and then we're going to need a dense net. Dense net is 5 pieces of twine. Standard net is 4 pieces of twine. So I've got to cut down a bunch of these leaves real quick. And I'll tell you what, one thing I should go ahead and do right now, since we've kind of got everything started, let's go ahead and get ourselves a work blade. It does require 4 pieces of flint. Flaked flint, and then 1 piece of standard flint. Actually, this is right, yeah. This is right. There we go. And there's our work blade. Then what we can do is, we have a lot of saplings at the moment. A lot of excess saplings. So if we take these, we can actually cut these down into plant fiber. It's actually a little bit easier of a way to get plant fiber for making these nets and stuff. So then we could just lay this out. There's our standard net. And then there is our... Oh, wait. I need 1 more of these. Because I've been getting a lot of saplings, so it's probably best that we go ahead and do that. And then there is our dense net. Okay. And then to make them into the strainers, I think it's just sticks, right? Yeah. Both of them are just sticks. Alright, and then we're just going to lay this out like that. No, I don't want to make scaffold. I want to make strainer. There's our survivalist strainer, and then our dense. There we go. And that is the strain your ears completed, and we get the efficiency meter. We'll go ahead and claim that. Okay, so now, let's see. If we take a look at the standard strainer, you can see that we can strain tin, silver, iron, copper, granite, standard rocks. Then we got all the different fish. There's andesite, apatite, lead ore, diorite. And then the dense one, we get terra clay clumps, gold nuggets, sand, dirt balls, algae, ender amethyst, mud balls, loam, chalk dust, sticks, and then all these biomes of plenty gems as well. And actually, I think I see water. If we look at journey map, right over here appears to be water. There's our home spot. It looks like there's water right there too. We might actually look into that one. But one thing, I don't know why I didn't grab it, and I guess I wasn't thinking, and then I was like, oh yeah, there was one of these over here. Let me go ahead and grab the horn of the canopy, actually. I don't know why I didn't grab it. Because this thing would be perfect for right here. Because we can just hold this and break it. You know, I think normally I just don't use it all that much because every single pack has like automatic leaf breaking, like quick leaf decay. So I don't know. I guess I'm just used to not using it. That is really, really handy. That is a very, very handy find. I mean, we could probably use the conversion wand maybe with the saplings to break these trees down. I don't know. We might look into that too. But right now I just want to go find water is the main thing. And yeah, see, there's water right there. That's not too far from base. If it's right over here, actually. Journey map is kind of handy for finding that, I feel like. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up our strainers. I'm going to put one... Let's actually break into this and release the water. We're going to put one strainer right here. And it sounds like it's hitting lava down there. It is. Let me go ahead and put down a ash block right here, because I really don't want flowing liquid everywhere. So the water's going to flow directly into the strainer, and then we can go ahead and pop in our... we'll start with the standard survivalist strainer. Pop that into there, and if we give this a second, there we go. We've already got salmon. And I don't really think there's any way at the moment to... Drying rack. Okay, I can dry the salmon. Also, I can make salmon jerky. Which one will be better? Salmon jerky, for sure. We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to set that up. And there's some iron ore. And I know strainers are more efficient if they're right next to water. If we take a look at the efficiency meter, yeah, bonus efficiency plus 10%. Now, what was the rest of the stuff? I know they don't need to be too close to each other. Flowing water or water source. It's definitely better with the flowing water right next to a water source. Distance between strainers, don't put them right next to each other. Space them out. And then water height. I don't know about the water height efficiency boost. I don't know, I mean, honestly, it's going to be fast enough. I'm not too worried about that right this second. Okay, so let's break this off. Set that right there. I just want to get this up and going so I have some food coming in. Instead of being hungry all the time. But honestly, the Horn of the Canopy is going to make it a lot easier. I should have grabbed that sooner. Since we got lucky and found that building early on. Okay, so this is starting to produce loam and chalk dust and all that. Not as much food as I would have hoped, but I may end up making more of those. I would really like a way to move the water, though. Ooh, we can make slice boxes, though. That might be something that we must consider. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mark this area so that we can have it chunk loaded. Just so that stuff can keep producing. Then I can pretty much just make a strainer, bring it over here, set it down, and then walk off and leave it and come back and get all the stuff, you know, after it's ran for a little bit. So let's go back up here. I'm going to... Ooh, I need to make another hatchet, actually. Okay, a couple things I want to try real quick. First up, let's warp over... I'll go ahead and grab this conversion wand. I want to try this to see if we can use this for, like, really easy tree harvesting. Is this going to be a thing? So if we shift right click, grab our saplings, and then... okay, it's not working. Okay. Because it's saying that we need... I don't know what kind of sapling it has selected, but it's not the one that we have, so it's not registering correctly, so we're just going to put that thing away. Chances are it probably doesn't work very well in this pack. That's fine. I think it's a bug with Astral Sorcery, if I recall, because I think the same thing has happened in Sevtech, so that's fine. Not a problem. We'll just work around it. I still have this, though, which is going to prove to be extremely useful. Okay, it's been a little bit. I did try moving the water with a bowl, because Actual Additions allows you to pick up water, but you can't do it. Within this pack, it's disabled. So just a heads up. But anyways, these strainers have been running for a bit. You can see we've got some salmon, fish, clownfish, pufferfish, all that stuff. Let's see. I'm not going to worry about picking this stuff up right now. I'm going to leave it in there for the time being. And then over here, we've got gold, mud. I'm going to go ahead and grab the mud, because we are going to be using that here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and grab the sticks and the algae as well. Yeah, I think that's the main things. Okay, so first up, there's a quest. This one right here, regrowth. Get an algae, and then what we can do... Oh yeah, we need appetite as well. Let me go ahead and grab that. And then they want us to trade the algae. And if we take a look here, we can trade one algae and one appetite, and we get a dry pasture seed. So I want to go ahead and do that real quick. It says I found some kind of plant life. Maybe if I show this to the people at home, they can give me something in return. With the pasture seed I got in return, I assume I can grow that on dirt. Now that I have dry grass, maybe I can dig through it like the coarse loamy dirt to get some plant life. Yeah, and we need 25 pieces of dirt. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to have to start making that. I want to go ahead and get that going, and then I want to start actually making some better food as well. I did set up another little area. We're going to pop over there in just a second. And it did rain again on me, which was great. Let's go ahead and throw in the algae and the appetite, and... oh, did I get it? Okay, there we go. Dry pasture seed. But we are going to have to get dirt before we can use that. And that's how we're going to start being able to move into like seeds and farming and stuff like that. Go ahead and break this stuff off. Okay, so over here, and it's terribly ugly. I know it is, but we have a little room set up. This is kind of like a little room that we can hang out when it's raining, and I've got storage in here. It's all shelves set up, because these are actually much better. They hold 4 more items than chest does, and they're way cheaper. These are all ash blocks and ash. But I've just been kind of sorting everything out. Now, what I want to do first up is let me grab this stuff, actually. Let me go ahead and make up a bunch more slabs. And if we take these and we place them out like... Is it that? Let's see. Drying rack. Okay, it's just 2 of them makes a drying rack. Let's go ahead. If we hold shift and drag... There we go. I want to go ahead and get as many of these as we can. So there's 7 of them. And let's go ahead and lay these things out. And right here we can start drying like rotten flesh, and we can dry the salmon and all that stuff and get salmon jerky. We can get fish jerky as well. And this will be a good way to get food at the moment. And then there's also fugu jerky as well. So go ahead and get that stuff drying. It's going to take about 5 minutes. But I'll get some more of those crafted. And then we should be all set on food, I'd say. Let me go ahead and make a few more of these. I guess I can just craft them right into there. Okay, so now we've got this thing filled up with drying racks, because I have a feeling we're going to be using these quite a bit as we move forward. Now, in addition, there is this drying rack. It says a block must be in a closed room of at least 50 blocks in interior size. Now, I don't know if this is going to be 50 blocks. Yeah, it should be at least 50 blocks in size, I should think. Okay, so 3 sticks and then 3 pieces of wood to make that. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a drying rack. And I'm thinking that this will be big enough. I hope this is going to be big enough. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 of them. And that did complete the first part of this quest. Now we also need to get, or the second part, we also need to get 4 pieces of mud. Let's go ahead and do that. And I've got some mud right here. You can actually take this loamy dirt right here. And that's how I got a lot of this mud earlier. But if you take the loamy dirt and you hold shift and right click, let's see, we've got 10 pieces at the moment. Like, if we do this, there's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16... Oh, I'm throwing it. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. We can actually break through that. It does break the block, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a bit of these mud blocks. And then what we can do is we can put these on the drying rack and make terra clay. Which is what I would like to do. So let me see. If I put this stuff down, is this big enough? I think so. Yeah, it's working. So you can see it's slowly drying this mud out. And this is how we're going to get our terra clay. And let's see, the last part of the quest, they want us to get 4 terra clay clumps. Okay. You can see it's actually got the blocks on the drying rack. Okay, and these really don't take very long to dry out. And there we go. There's our terra clay clumps. I'm going to go ahead and get some more of that going. And there we go. That completes that quest. And, oh, beginner's furnace. We're almost there. We're almost at the beginner's furnace. Before we start that, let's go ahead and I want to start making compost. Which will need a barrel. This right here, wooden barrel from Ex Nihilo Creatio. So let's go ahead. Let me get a little bit more wood here. And by the way, you can, if you want to, you can break these by hand. But you're not always going to get wood planks back. It's not very effective. It's a lot better if you use hatchet. So just a heads up. And this will be kind of like our little workroom to start with. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves some barrels so that we can start making some compost. There we go. There's 4. That'll be good to start with. And we'll just set these up. I'll actually put these like right back here. This room's got to get opened up, but this is just a starter room kind of a thing. Like, I haven't decided exactly what we're going to do. And now that we've got that, what we can do, I think dead saplings work as compost, right? Oh, maybe not. Ooh, let's see. Let's take a look at dirt. Dirt balls, which we can get from strainers, yeah. From the dense ones. Okay, so maybe that might be my best option, is to go with more strainers, because we can also do compost, and I can compost fish and stuff. But the dead saplings don't work. I was thinking those would work, but they don't. And, I mean, I could go with rotten flesh or something, but it's not really reasonable to have to go out and farm up all that. So, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll go with... we won't do the compost just yet. We won't do the compost method. I should have some dirt balls over here, and I'll just make up a few more... give me just a second. I'm going to make up a few more strainers and get those up and going again. I want to say that you can use persimmons, I think. I'll double check it real quick. But even still, I mean, it's not like we have enough. No, you can't use persimmons, actually. Never mind. I'm actually starting to come out on top of food now, which is nice. Starting to get a bit more than what I'm actually consuming. So, I will say that the Horn of the Canopy does help a lot, so that's probably something that you should go for, like, right out the gate before you get really heavy into, like, farming trees and stuff. Okay, so this one, this is the one that I had survivalist, right? Yeah, okay. I want to make sure and kind of keep it in the same general area there. And let's go ahead and grab our dirt, and we can turn this into dirt blocks. I need more strainers. I was wanting to move that water so that it would be a little bit easier to do that, but we're not too far from being able to make buckets, though, in truth. So that's good, I guess. Let's take a look at the roof over my head quest. So they want us to make 40 pieces of cob. I will probably stay for very long here. I need a roof over my head. The easiest building material I have access to is probably some cob. Okay, so cob, take a look at this. It requires cob balls, and you can also make it here with like terra clay and stuff like that. We're not going to get into that at the moment. Cob balls we can make with plant fiber, terra clay clumps, and these make 16 at a time, and then also mud. So that's not too bad. There's a little bit more mud. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And there's some terra clay clumps. We'll go ahead and get those as well, because this can produce terra clay clumps. I don't think I have any use for chalk at the moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and make ourselves this cob that we need. So terra clay clumps. And, does this specific... Is it cob balls? Oh, and it's 16 per cob, though. We're going to have to make 40 of those things, so it is a little bit expensive. The terra clay... Okay, I got this backwards. And it is specific. Oh, it's just plant fiber, not twine. Okay, so let's grab all of these that we can make. There's 48, which means 12 pieces of cob. So I'm going to need a lot more mud. I'm going to need a lot more terra clay clumps. So I'll be back here in just a bit once I get that stuff made up, and I'm going to keep working on this dirt as well. Okay, I just finished up our 40 pieces of cob. There we go. Quest complete, roof over my head. And the reason that we need this is actually for the furnace. Okay, it says, now that I have access to stone, I can maybe build a basic furnace that can cook a few things. First, I need to form the rocks into cobblestone blocks. With those cobblestone blocks, I can then make a beginner's furnace. This furnace's fuel needs to be lit up with my fire starter to start the smelting process. But before we do that, if you take a look at the furnace, and by the way, I did derp, one thing I want to point out. If you take a look at the furnace, though, it says restriction block must be in a closed room of at least 50 blocks in interior size, which this room is. Our drying rack's working here, right? But it needs at least 40 exposed cob. So we actually have to use that 40 cob that we just made, and we're going to have to actually make a roof here. So give me just a second. I'm going to change this over into a roof. I ran out my shovel earlier, and I just haven't made another one because they're somewhat involved to craft. Okay, so there's our 40 pieces of cob. Actually, 2 blocks left over, but that's fine. That's okay. As long as I get the 40 in the roof, that'll be good. It actually kind of lightens up this place a bit. This place is ugly, though. But I did derp right here. I put down item racks. The drying racks apparently are not even craftable. I noticed that the recipe wasn't pulling up in here. So they may not even be craftable within this pack. So I might as well just go ahead and gather this stuff back up and throw it on an actual drying rack. Now these fish are smeltable as well. But they actually come out to be the same exact nutrition. If you smelt them or if you dry them, and drying it's free, might as well just use that. It's not terribly expensive. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up for our furnace. Now, it is going to require some cobblestone. We're going to need 8 pieces of cobblestone. So this is rocks, and then we can use clay, muck, terra clay clumps. Any of that stuff will work. So I'm going to need to make up a bit more clay real quick. And really, I guess if you have water and lava close enough to each other, you could always... well, no, now that I think about it, if you mine cobblestone in this pack, because I did it in a test world, if you mine cobblestone within this pack without like a special kind of pick or something, which we'll get into that, maybe even... I don't know if we'll get into it next episode or not, but it's going to actually give back rocks instead of cobblestone blocks. So... you can't use that. You're going to have to go with the clay method, which is fine. We'll get this stuff going. I need more terra clay anyways. And then rocks. I've got some over here. You get these, of course, from mining those stone blocks that are kind of like littering around the world. You also get them from your sieves, or your strainers. So let me pop over here. I know we're getting pretty close to wrapping up point. I'd like to get the furnace up and going. I feel like we've made a lot of progress, though, this episode. For this first tab. All this survival-based stuff. Yeah, you see, I've got a ton of rocks here. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab those. And let's see, I've got mud, dirt balls, terra clay clumps, and we're up to 19 dirt at the moment. 20 dirt at the moment. I'll keep working on that. We won't get that set up this episode, but we'll get it set up next episode, and we can start actually working on setting up farming and stuff like that, which is going to be nice. Because now we really don't have to rely on persimmons, like, at all at this point. I'm going to go ahead and eat this one. But I've got all this fish jerky and stuff. So we can start spreading out from just vitamins to maybe... fish count as proteins. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves some cobblestone. So, 8 pieces. There we go. There is our cobblestone, and we hit the Stone Age. Haha. Okay, and then they want us to make the furnace, which this is just standard furnace crafting. It's just a different furnace that we're going to get. And there we go. It's going to be a little while before we get the standard, you know, vanilla Minecraft furnace. We'll go ahead and put that furnace right in there. And then what we can do, which isn't what's the quest that we have? Buckets. Haha. And then there's a better furnace, like, just right down the road here. Which actually, the better furnace... it requires us hardened stone or Misty World cobblestone. Yeah, see, we're going to have to get obsidian, break that down. But we can craft that. We can do that in world, but we're going to have to make a Gallagher. We'll get into that next episode. But if I take a look here at the bucket, I think that's what I want to do first. With the clay I have, I wonder if firing the clay in a furnace would give me the opportunity to make a basic bucket. I then would be able to move lava and make a basic cobblestone generator. Let's hope this works on this planet. Okay, so that's what we want to do. The unfired clay bucket into the clay bucket. So we just need clay or terra clay. Either one works fine. I'm going to go ahead and just use terra clay. Which actually we haven't started making clay yet. Standard clay. It is craftable because it requires loam. So, but if we put our bucket in there, and then we take our fire starter that we made earlier, and we also need something to burn in this. I'm going to go ahead and just take, like, a piece of wood. And we take our fire starter and we right-click it. It's going to start smelting. And it should be the same. It should be able to smelt up that with one operation. There we go. Oh, nope. I don't want to throw those in there right now. Let me go ahead and grab that out. So we got our clay bucket. And there we go. Quest complete. Clay bucket. Okay, now I've got to wait for this rain to clear up before I go outside. I mean, technically the poison's not going to kill me, but at the same time... oh, we got our first nutrition buff. So we got 2 extra hearts down there. But I really don't want to waste life if I can avoid it. So I'll be back once that rain is all cleared up. Okay, the rain's gone, so I'm gonna pop over here. I know it's about wrapping up point, so we are gonna end out the episode. By the way, I did look at the water strainer, the depth, and I just basically I always set it up this way, so the water source block and right next to it is the strainer. But if you go farther down the line, like the water depth gets lower, and that decreases efficiency if you put it too far away and stuff. I misunderstood what it was, so. Anyways, this is the maximum efficiency strainer that you're going to be able to set up. So, just a heads up. But let's go ahead and grab our strainer. I want to get these moved, is what I would like to do. And I know, and after that, I mean, it's pretty much the end of the episode. In next episode, we will get into basically like the better furnace. We're going to get tools, because this pack does have custom Tinker's tools that you can make, which are these Bane tools, and you could say like this one has Skyblock, Cobble Breaker, Unbreakable, and Soulbound. So it's Soulbound, it's Unbreakable, and if you break Cobblestone, you get Cobblestone instead of getting back rocks. Because right now, like, okay, over here is some Cobblestone, for example, and I'll show you if we break this. Because really, I mean, we could make a Cobblestone generator, but I'm probably going to go straight for the Bane of Cobble before I set up a Cobble, you know, a Cobble gen, because it's just going to be better that way. But you can see that I just broke that and I got rocks, just standard rocks. But if we use that Bane of Cobble, we're going to get back actual Cobblestone, which is what we want. But anyways, what I want to do is right over here, I want to set up our strainers. And actually, let me... Oh, do I want to raise this? Or do I want to put it down to the floor? I think I'm just going to put it down to the floor for right now, because, yeah, that'll be fine. And then I'm going to put the water right there. And this is a maximum efficiency strainer. So if I was to craft out Survivalist Strainer and we plop that down right there, this strainer is going to work. So that way we can kind of have our strainers more close at hand instead of having to go really far to reach the water, you know, that we need for that. Instead, it's right here within this room, and then I can get the stuff out and sort it and everything. It's a lot easier. We still have the plus 10% efficiency because it's right next to that water, and it's flowing water instead of still water. So that's about as efficient as you can get right now. You can make it a little bit more efficient, though, if you put it in, like, rivers or oceans. But, I mean, we don't have access to that at the moment. So this is about as efficient as we're going to be able to do with it. So, and then I'll set the other strainer up right here. Then we'll have both of those set up. And then technically I could set up, like, another one right here if I wanted to. But I may put something else right here instead. So, we'll see. But anyways, I know it's wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end it out here. I hope you guys are excited about this pack and this series and everything. I am very, very excited about it. And I feel like we got quite a bit done. We got a lot of progression done today, which is good. So all that stuff. And next episode, it's going to be a lot of Cobbleworks, Furnace, and all that fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff to get into next episode as we continue on with our survival stuff. And we have fish now. We have a good food source now. And we're going to get even better food sources next episode because we're going to get into farming in addition to all of our Cobbleworks stuff. And we're going to get some really nice tools and stuff going as well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.